Hello and welcome to the Excuse Buster Show, where we break through what gets in your way of feeling how you want to feel and living the life you want to live. I'm Lizzie Williamson, and if the question, what's for dinner, is something that fills you with dread, then stay tuned to this episode, because my guest today is an expert in helping people take away a whole lot of stress, time, energy, and money when it comes to food and healthy cooking. As an integrated nutrition health coach, cookbook author, cooking demonstrator, blogger, recipe developer.
Gee, we like this.
She really is on a mission to help people feel so good about the way that they are feeding both themselves and their families. She is a mother of 3 beautiful children, and she is adored by not only the health and wellness industry, but me too. This is the beautiful Stacey Clare, health coach.
Wow. I need to write all that down.
Well, I could have gone
Sounds
on
like
for
a good website
longer and raid. But I thought I'd just get to what we're here to, which is to hear your wisdom, your tips, your tools to make something that I guess in a way can be very easy, but a lot of us find quite hard. The whole cooking, food, meals, fussy eaters, breakfast, all of these things, meal planning that you just have really can really help people with. So when you meet someone and that you find out what it is you do. What is a common thing that they say to you, ask you, want to know from you?
One thing that does surprise me is that they all go, "Oh yeah, I could see you as that," and I'm like, "Oh, really?" Because saying like a health coach, Lizzie sort of said those, and then I also work a lot, with mamas and families one-on-one. Is they're like, yeah, you do that. I guess what I'm mainly help with is being that really practical person in the health industry of how do I actually do this, because I know for me, when I started healing my gut and learning that that's even what I had to do to stop bloating and feeling like crap, I was like, but how do I actually do this? And you go and see a practitioner, and you go and see like a nutritionist and all of these things. Hey, darling, I'm just feeding my little lady
here, by the way.
Off camera. Is how do you practically do it? And I know that for me took so many years to try and figure that out. And that's what I enjoy doing, is being like, don't worry, I'll hold your hand, I'll get this done. So the great thing knowing, I think from the start, is that when you do this, even after the first week, it gets easier, because like with your movement, Liz, like it's, as soon as you start feeling good, it's not so much of a chore, right? And that's what food can do for you as well as moving, I guess. So initially what I love to help with is getting organised, because that's really the cornerstone for everything, isn't it? Like the mornings aren't as hard with kids if we're actually organised. We've got their clothes laid out or whatever, and their bags are sitting next to it, rather than it being a hot mess in the morning, which sometimes there is a hot mess, but those hot mess days give you the kick to have less of them. And I guess that's it from the start. So I will help people with meal planning, and always my tips there is getting it down on a piece of paper so that you can say, here it is, got this, no one's gonna ask what's for dinner. Well, go and read it on the fridge, maybe.
Super simple, but really great step.
And two, because then you can use them later on again, right? Like if I reuse mine all the time, I keep mine, and I'm like, all right, well, here we go, this one I did it like 2 months ago, that's still gonna work. And then I guess is knowing what you're going to eat for each meal. I tend to write down that I want to do 2 veggie meals a week and 2 fish meals a week, and then I fill in my meats from there, so that we're not having so many of them. But also too, when you kind of, I guess, look at it holistically, you can start eating the way you want, because sometimes you're like, oh, I want to have more fish meals, but how do you do that?
Hi, it's all right. Come in.
A little boy's at home. yeah, and so if it's all written down, then you can actually start implementing those ways that you want to eat. If you want to stop eating pasta 6 meals a week because it's so easy, if you actually start writing these down going, well, there has to be 2 veg and there has to be 2 fish. Or it might be vice versa for you if you are battling an intolerance or something like that, which I work a lot of my clients are those, like I've got to come off eggs, dairy and gluten or whatever it is, or I've got histamines or any of that. It's easier when you sort of write it down. You go, okay, well, I can implement this. It isn't so hard. And then you can shop for around that. And that's how I have definitely cut down on spending so much money on food. For me, I'm very passionate about eating whole foods and wherever I can, eating organic. But it's so expensive to do so, but if you cook and buy for just what you need, it isn't so much of that. So
Hello.
I'm going to get my lunchbox.
oh, are you okay?
No. Hello.
We've had another baby come and visit us. We're doing a show. Hello. All right.
Yeah, so that's I guess getting it down on paper is a really big one. Yeah.
When you work with the women that you work with, what is some little things that you have helped them with that you've just gone, wow, like that one little change, there's a couple of little changes have just been quite transformative?
Yeah. Oh gosh, there's so many.
I bet there is.
Is getting the head right, because that's so much of it. So do you want this one, darling? I have an app on my phone, and I encourage you guys download this. It's called the Chime app, and it basically goes beep on the hour every hour, and it's great because it's not like an alarm where you have to tell it to shut up. It just goes beep. Whenever we hear that go off, it's to find something good at that time, because that can be the thing is we often get to the end of the day and we're like, oh, it was not good, blah, blah, blah. But really it wasn't. It was probably just one of the bad things, and you picked your kid up and they're an absolute pork chop and that threw you off. But if you're constantly doing stuff throughout the day of finding the good, it helps change us, right? And we generally start looking for it. I used that tool personally when I was trying to fall pregnant with my first son. It turned out to be son. I didn't want it. That sounded like my first child, because I really, really struggled to fall pregnant, and I knew that I had to tell my body that we could do this. So it was like putting in an affirmation, whereas now I use it more for that tool of trying to find something good, because there always is something good at that time, and when you train yourself to find it, it'll naturally start happening. Then we use that further down the track to use it as a tool for drinking some water, because that's the thing. When we get us mamas chewing correctly, you know, we should be doing nearly 20 chews per mouthful, and not just, oh gosh, baby's crying, and stuffing it down. Like, chew as you're walking. Lady, I often will eat in the car, and I know that's a big taboo, but that's one of the best spots ever that I can be mindful when I'm actually eating, because I'll go, okay, I'm going to chew this whole way until the red light, or I'm going to chew until, you know, we get over the bridge or whatever that is. So there's that, and there's drinking the water, happy thoughts, and really coming off processed food. Sure. Sultana? Thank you, darling.
Lily.
Thank you.
Oh,
Here we go,
that's
darling.
nice. What a nice brother.
I would say that, and then with the processed food and just getting a heck of a lot more organised.
Getting organised is such a key, isn't it? And yet, I mean, life can be so busy, and we've got the best intentions to get organised, and then you sort of get to your Monday morning again, you're like, oh, I didn't get organised again for this week, and get to the Friday. So some little, I guess, those starting points to get organised.
Wow, that was a good save. Is finding someone to support you with that. You know, like I was thinking of it today as like the amount of investment the thought processes that we do for our children, right? Like they've got something going on at school, great, we'll find them someone to help them with that. They need help with reading, done, we will find the time for that. But we don't find that for ourselves. And you think about what being organised or not being stressed about food or things coming easy, like what you do that for your kids, so why wouldn't you do it for yourself? And that doesn't always mean cooking everything from scratch. Like I don't cook everything from scratch. I've got a great markets and I go and buy beautiful quiches and tarts that are made from them. You know, there's these what is it, like Marley spoons and all of these great make at home things. I have no qualm with any of that. You know, it's if it's real food, just find your way that will make you get to where you want to be and realize your worth. I think that's a big thing, is realizing your worth as a mama, and that if this comes easy for you, think about how amazing everything else is going to be. You know, your kids are going to be happier, you're going to be happier, things with hubby are probably going to be even better, and you're going to start feeling really bloody good. So yeah, find your support and do it.
Yeah. Do you think the way we value ourselves is one of the big things that gets in our way of doing all these things?
Yeah. Because we go, oh, we should be able to find this easy. Oh, I don't have time, so I won't do it.
Yeah.
But really, if you start going, well, I need to eat real food, otherwise I don't function well, and I'm worthy of eating really great food, so I'm gonna find my way to get there to do that, right? Like I know that could be confrontational for some, so probably just like, Stacey, it's not it at all, but I wonder if you really think about it, like, is your worthiometer for eating this way, you know, high enough? Like I remember that of battling in my head when I wanted to go organic, when I couldn't fall pregnant, and I was like, oh, I should just be able to do this, and I was like, I can't, like, I shouldn't be eating organic, like that's so cost prohibitive, but I just make different decisions.
Lily out there.
Yeah, she'd love that.
Yoo-hoo!
Thanks, darling. Did you want this orange? Yum.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Because I think so often we're looking for the surface answers, which are brilliant, and all the practical answers. But often, if we can dig a bit deeper, and we're saying to ourselves, "Oh, I don't have time for this and this," it's like, okay, well, hold on a minute. What's really going on here? Why can you not find the time? Why are you feeling like you can't do these meals?
Because it's what you prioritize, right? And I guess from a fitness perspective, you know that, like, full well, and everyone has their different priorities. Like, there's stuff that some of us will just do and it's a non-negotiable. It's just choosing what's that going to be. And for me, I guess I look around and I'm like, I actually genuinely really want good health, and maybe everyone's got their own story, but I have seen so much bad health around me, and I've seen so much just bad luck that have taken them that it shouldn't have. So if I can be here and be healthy, like I want to be that. Like, I don't want to be going into my soon to be 40s not feeling great, because it's going to be a heck of a lot harder, especially when I get to my 50s. Like, I don't want that excuse and that whole thought that I know my family is just common. Like, they just go, oh, you know, we're getting old. But really, like, do you have to be like that? Like, and I'm not a crazy gal. Like, we eat normal food, like, but it's just a priority, you know. Like, I want, like what we just saw that Lil just did then. Like, she saw an orange and was like, yeah, give it up. Like, that for her is exciting.
Give it up.
Because it's just a real food, you know, and that's what I kind of want my kids to grow up with as well. And I want them to be as healthy as they can be, because there's going to be stuff that, you know, they're going to hurt themselves and fall over, and, you know, then that's going to be an issue. But I want that to be an issue, not something that I could have prevented if I had of just given them great food and let them thrive with it.
Yeah. So often there is a time in our life, a bit of a moment, and something happens to us that creates a catalyst for change.
Yeah.
If you look at your journey back to, you know, to here you are now doing what you do, what do you think that moment was where you said, I'm going to make some change, I'm going to head down this path? Can you share with us that story?
Yeah, you know it too. Yeah. God, I'm going to get teary. My first son was born 2 months early, and I only found out sort of the week before that he was probably going to be early, and I guess being a bit naive, I didn't know what that meant. I'm pretty good at doing what I'm told, and the doctors told me to chill out, and so that's just what I did. But when he came early and was just rushed away, and I didn't meet him for about 4 hours until after he was out. No, we can't. She can't have nuts yet, darling.
No, can you open it up for me?
Right at a good timing when we were doing.
I'll give it to her.
When we're doing heartfelt stuff. Thank
Can
you.
you open it
Yes,
up?
absolutely. Opening up the pistachio nuts. There you go, sweetheart. And yeah, so I didn't get to meet him for a while, and having him on oxygen, having him in the humidity crib and not being able to meet him, it was something that I realised was incredibly bad luck, and that I was going to do everything that I could to make sure that he was healthy and I was healthy for him, because there is bad luck. Like, that was just bad luck for me, and there is so many families that have bad luck like that, but I don't want any of his bad luck to be at something I could have helped if I had been, I guess, more there. And for me too, you know, I wonder if I was a bit healthier, I don't know, you know, would things have been different? And I guess the fact that once I did make those changes, and I've had 2 full-term babies that have absolutely thrived, that's kind of my case in point of why I should do this. So yeah, I would never want anyone to have that. You know, he was 30 centimeters. Like, next time you see a school ruler, look at the size of that. I think like that was him. He was 1.4 kilos. Like, it's just, babies shouldn't be out in the world like this, and I don't see those kind of things again. So, yeah. I love that she's just like smiling at the camera. Yeah.
So you said that you keep it real, right? And so it was really nice hearing before, and thank you for sharing that story. That's all. It's really nice to hear you say, you know, you eat in a way that is not extreme. It's not like it's not in a way that you have to go to special stores or cut out all these certain foods and things like that. You're just eating in a way that's well, I guess it's
normal, and too, like, this is how I feel it. Maybe not my parents, because my mum like loved chicken tonight, and generally was like, muesli bars, how good's this? Here you go, kids. But she still did have meat and 3 veg, and I know that's how she grew up eating. Like, that's a great meal, you know, like, it doesn't have to be, yes, tonight is rice paper rolls, and that sounds elaborate, but it's not really, because it's just going to be cold food. I don't even have to heat up. I can literally grab it out of the fridge, dump it in and roll it up, and then put it in a container and eat it. Like, this stuff isn't so hard if you don't want it to be, but it will be hard if you want it to be. You know, it will be. But if you don't want it to be, like, I think of that so often of, like, the majority of the mums that I work with one-on-one, and there's a lot. Like, I've worked 150 women now, so I've seen a broad range of it. Most of them are working full-time and have between 2 and 3 children, and they still find a way. Like, it's Thermomixes, right? That's real. It's a slow cooker. That's great. Or it's going and buying something that is readily made that's just real. Like, I think that's great. Like, if you've got a really great shop that makes the most beautiful lasagna, buy it, pop it in the oven, and then put a salad with it. Job's done. Like, it's just eating real food real easy.
Yeah. So when you go into to coach, or I know you do international as well. So that first session with your clients, obviously it's very individual, and that's why it's amazing having a coach, that one-on-one thing. But in a broad sense, what happens in that first session?
99% of them, I sort their breakfast first, because why brekkie? Because if that rocks, you feel great for the day, and it kicks on, right?
Yeah.
And it's helping them come off the processed carbs and asking them, when you used to go out for breakfast before you had kids, or maybe your kids are a bit bigger and you occasionally get out there. How awesome does it feel when you have eggs and bacon and a piece of toast? Or maybe you feel crap after your toast, which sadly so many of us do, but how good do you feel? They're like, I don't even look for food until 1. So let's make that work on the weekdays. And we kind of, I would give them some recipe ideas, but it's really talking it through and going, my reality is I've got 3 in nappies, but 2 can get themselves sorted, but it's going, okay, I'm going to go and whack on a sausage or a bacon in the oven so that then I don't have to man it in a fry pan, right?
Nice.
And then I come out and I go, great, here you goes, and then I grab my little lady, all right, I'm going to change her, I come back and they're cooked because it's 5 minutes, great, and then I'm going to scramble some eggs, or I'm in love with my Thermomix. I've only just got into the cult 6 months ago. But I can see why everybody loves their Thermomixes. Could I put on some boiled eggs at the exact same time? This stuff, it's changing it and going from a cereal packet. I don't want that. And why don't I want that? Because I know, like it did for me, I get through to 1 o'clock. My kids will get through till 11 before they're asking for food from me. And their moods stay really, really stable. And for all of us, that's what we want. You don't want those breakdowns. See, that's what the knock-on effect of having those quick breakfasts are. So definitely breakfast I sort with them. And then learning how to chew, not drinking while they're eating, and often we'll write a meal plan. And so the first sort of session is obviously really full on, but it's kind of giving them that blueprint, because if someone's coming to get one-on-one help, it's when they've tried nearly everything. And it has, most of my mamas have come from other mummy bloggers where they've done a course.
Yeah.
And they went, awesome, for a week. Yeah. And then they go, oh, this is getting a bit hard, Or they're more like my personality, and there's definitely some of those where I go, look, I just want to get this done. I'm sick of, this has been going on for 2 years and I'm not getting any closer. Can you hold my hand? You hold me accountable, and you give me everything I need that's tailored specifically for me. And get me where I want to be. And that's what I'm like, I now do, because of you telling me, Stacey, do one-on-one training, and find your person that's going to motivate you. I do that, and then I'm getting where I want to be. Yeah. Hopefully that helps.
It really helps. I was just like, when you want her as your coach, oh my goodness. So the breakfast thing, that is awesome. I hear from a lot of people going, I don't know what to do for breakfast. I really struggle with breakfast, but that's keeping it really simple. You find ways to eat that aren't I
and cooking in bulk, I guess. I have a breakfast ebook on my website that if you're interested in, but I broke it down into 3 sections of how I live my life. Is I've got 5 minutes, what the heck can I eat? Done. There you go. I want to cook something in bulk because I've got time. Great, there's all these. Or I rock my slow cooker like nothing else. That runs I'd say every 3rd night I'm cooking something in there overnight to be ready in the morning. Rice pudding, great. It's ready in the morning, but that does me for 4 days. I can blend it up. And the other day I blended up the rice pudding, and this recipe's on my site. So Google Stacey Clare rice pudding.
All the links will be there.
I blended that up with 2 eggs and I made them into pancakes. I used leftovers and I whacked that into a smoothie with some mango. Job's done. Or we eat it the same way, 1 or 2 days as well. If you want to eat this way, there is ways to do it. You just got to draw the line in the sand, with the exercise stuff.
That's
just
right,
go, I'm done feeling like this. I'm ready to feel different.
So what do you think is the biggest excuse that we need to bust through, or obstacle we need to bust through?
That it's hard.
Yes.
It's not hard. Because it isn't. It's what you prioritize. I am absolutely obsessed with watching The Block, but I don't do it at nights. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I watch it on a Sunday. But most of my nights, I'm not watching TV. It doesn't mean I'm in the kitchen, but I'm reading a book that, you know, if you want to think a different way, then listen to podcasts of people that think a different way, or read their books of people that think a different way. Watch the Excuse Buster show and think of it a different way. So I will do that at night, which means too I do have time to do this stuff. I am very lucky at the moment. I'm not working as much as I was, but I do work Fridays, and I do between 5 and 11 clients back to back that I run them. So I am still working, but I will prioritize it in the day, like when my little lady's having a sleep, is that I will use that full hour in the kitchen, and I treat it like it's a job, to be really honest, because I freaking hate being in the kitchen. Like, I don't generally love it, but I'm like, boom, right, that's on, this is in the oven, job's done, I'm out. I make lunch boxes the night before for everyone. Like, here is Lil's one. This is her first day actually of a lunchbox. I have a lunchbox. My son that's at home with me most of the days of the week has one, and so does my hubby. He goes to work with one, and my son that goes to school. And I just lay them out, and that's with my dinner plates as well. And sure, it looks full on, but again, it means I'm not in the kitchen in the day, because I don't want to be. Yeah, I want to get out of there. And when I go in, I want to do it, get everything done that I can really, really quick, and use the time well, and then get the heck out.
Yeah. I think a lot of us want that.
Yeah.
Very inspired by that.
Yeah.
Sometimes don't you think you need someone to come along and, you know, and just, so it forces you to stop for a minute, have a bit of a reset and go, okay, I've been looking at this like this is all way too hard, and so you just don't give it any energy.
Yeah.
Whereas if you come and go, I'm just going to give this a little bit of energy, and this is actually going to make a big difference.
Yeah, just start with brekkie. Like, I just start with breakfast for the next 2 weeks. Just do not go for a cereal box. Just do that and find something else. Tell the kids that they've sold out of it at the shop. We're really lucky to a degree. This sounds so bad, but I'm like, oh, you know, like that shop, oh, it's no good anymore. Like it was closed or something. He's like, I guess I'm lucky because my kids are a bit younger that I can tell some white lies. But find your way around it, rather than being like, we're not going to eat that, because I don't want to hear that. So give them a white lie of why we're not, and then bring in real food and see how that feels for you. Because I guarantee, like literally guarantee, because I see it with every single mom, dad, and family that I work with as a whole unit, they all start feeling better, and then they make a better decision for lunch, and then they make a better decision for dinner. Yeah, just start with brekkie.
So you were talking before that toast doesn't agree with some people, bread.
Yeah.
So what would you do instead?
Well, I guess
breakfast?
the great thing is that when you start eating this way, you start realising how the food feels for you. So when it is real, you start going, oh, actually, that day when I didn't have any toast, and I just had like a brekkie salad, so to speak. Like I had scrambled eggs, I had some avocado and some tomato and some lettuce. I actually felt really good.
Yeah.
But when I had the sourdough with it, annoyingly, I felt knackered. Like, you know, like I feel that too. But again, it could be finding better options. And I think too, we all decide where we want to put our time. For me, I love the idea of making bread, and I literally have a lot of clients that do. I don't. I just find a good one, and I support my local baker, and I put it in the freezer, and I'm happy with that. You know, like there's, I just don't like, different things. So I guess it's when you start eating this way, you'll start pinpointing it. Some of my clients come to me after, I'm lucky I've got a few naturopaths that refer to me that when they've seen clients that have gone on a restrictive diet and they don't know how to implement it, I can help them with that. So it's going, okay, I'm not great with gluten, but I love toast, and it just feels comfort for me, Stace. I don't want to give it up. Done. I'll get you around that. You know, there's hundreds of ways that we can get around that. Have it with a rice cracker in the morning. Make some flaxseed crackers. It sounds full on, but it'll take you probably 20 minutes and you'll have enough for 3 months worth, like when you do it, you know. Or find, like me, I find a really great gluten-free bread and I buy 4 or 5 loaves at once and I put it in my freezer and then I can call on it when I need it. Yeah.
Is this
all crazy?
The well of it is not crazy.
Okay.
You just think it is. We're all just listening to you go, yes, I could do that. I could totally do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah. You don't everything doesn't have to be from scratch. And I think that's probably why I think a lot of mums prefer my approach. Not every mum, and I know I'm not for everyone, but a lot prefer that of just going, I'll choose, you know, what I'm going to make and what I'm not. And so for brekkie cereal, for me, I don't think we should be eating it, you know. Well, even Wheat Bix, yes, I know there's no sugar in there, but it is such a highly processed grain and we don't know what the heck they've sprayed onto it. If that's the only way that your kids will eat brekkie, I'm cool with that. Have it with a real milk, i.e. full fat milk. And what else can you sprinkle on top that they're not going to notice? Is there a little bit of gelatin you can put on there? Is there a seed or two that they don't mind? Can you whack that on? Can you have it with some yogurt? You know, can you have it with a piece of fruit as well? Like, all of that will up the nutritional sort of value of it rather than just having it one certain way. And I'm a big advocate for that, of not serving the same thing looking the same way very often, because when you do that you start pigeonholing yourself and you're breeding fussy eaters, right? All I eat is Vegemite on toast on a white bread and it has to be chopped like a triangle. If medically you're doing that because cognitive there's reasons for that, then I understand. But if your child isn't that, rebel. You know, I would like serve stuff different. So yeah.
And to finish off, what do you think has been the biggest, when you look at, you know, your journey from there in the hospital at that moment, that still, you know, obviously you can just feel that, like you telling that story, so real. When you look back there to now, just a moment where you think to yourself, gosh, I am so glad that I made those decisions then. I'm so glad I started on this journey. I'm sure there's lots of moments, but is there one when I say that to you that comes up for you where you just look and you go, that's because I did that, and I'm so glad that I did that?
I'd say I'm happier. Yeah, like I used to suffer so much, like IBS, bloating, all of that stuff. I worked in the advertising industry, so stress is all we ran on, really. Like, that was our job. I worked long hours. Yes, getting rid of some of that, but eating well made me happy, because you get rid of those elements. Like, we know that that's our gut and brain connection, and that's where so much of not just our immune system but also our happiness is in here. Yeah, and I am genuinely proud that I can give this gift to my children, because they're worthy. They're just as worthy as I am of this. And sure, they may get through to being 20 and they're smoking and they're drinking booze and all of that, but I tried. And I genuinely want that for this world, because I look at children that are carrying excess weight at the age of 5 and 10, which they do, and I just think I feel sad for them. I'm not judging them, and I'm not judging their mum and dads. I just genuinely feel sad for them, and if I can help my kids thrive, then I want to. Yeah, I want them to do as well as they can, because they deserve it. Yeah.
Stacey Clare, health coach. Thank you so much for sharing all of that wisdom. I mean, what in this interview, this chat that we've had, has resonated with you? What did you hear and go, I really want to start doing that, or a mindset shift or something? We'd love to hear from you in the comments wherever you're watching this, so we can continue the conversation there. And it's really lovely for other people as well to read something that you have felt or that you're going to do, and it's really good for accountability as well. So be sure to like and share this episode so this amazing woman's message spreads around even more than what it already is. And yes, big thank you to Lorna Jane for the active wear. And a big thank you to you for being here and taking the time for you to give back to yourself and to think, okay, what is a little thing that I can do, a little change that I can make out of what Stacey's been telling us here, because it's been incredibly obvious that it does end up making this big difference to the way that you feel, the way you live your life, to your kids' life, your family, so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
You are worthy.
You are worthy.
Yeah.
Hashtag you are worthy. Or we tweet that if we were Oprah. Yeah, you are worthy. tweet.
You get a car, you get worthy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're just the greatest. Oh my goodness. Thank you. All right, we'll see you for another episode very soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.